Hello, my name is José Bernardes and this is another episode of What's Happening in Brazil. Let's tune into the latest from the country.
Brazilian religious fundamentalists try to stop an abortion procedure legally authorized to be performed on a 10-year-old girl who was raped repeatedly by her uncle for 4 years in a town in Espírito Santo state. The girl had to leave the state in order to perform the operation sanctioned and assisted by the state. The fundamentalist protest began after Sara Geromini, also known as Sarah Winter, posted a video on social media with the name of the patient and the hospital where the procedure was to be performed. Sara Geromini is a far right-wing militant, a known supporter of President Jair Bolsonaro, who was recently arrested for taking part in anti-democratic protests, like demanding the closure of the Supreme Court, attacking a judge, and openly supporting a return to the military dictatorship that governed Brazil till 1985. The state's judiciary mandated the removal of the social media post. By exposing the child's personal data, lawyers say that Sarah Winter not only violated child protection laws, but also the federal constitution. In the midst of a pandemic, a land repossession order destroyed homes and a school at a camp erected by the Rural Landless Workers Movement, known as MST, in southern Minas Gerais state. With permission from State Governor Romeu Zema, military police used helicopters and stun grenades to disperse camp dwellers on August 14th. The eviction order was enacted on behalf of the owner of a refinery that went bankrupt in the mid-1990s and owes the federal government around $80 million. The Quilombo Campo Grande camp has existed for more than 22 years and is known for the production of organic coffee. The local community, as well as celebrities and politicians, denounced the action and showed support to the more than 450 families that live and farm on the land. MST leadership declared that from solidarity emerges strength, and that the families will rebuild all that was destroyed during the expulsion.
With low wages and harsh working conditions, the situation for urban trash collectors in Brazil has never been easy. During the pandemic, their situation has only become worse, seen as they have not ceased activities and at the same time are more exposed to infection. In the federal district, the number of workers in the sector getting infected grows every day. They report have no support and even been fired after getting sick.
Federal district city cleaners have not had a break since the start of the pandemic. The sector has more than 6,000 employees and at the moment stands with 200 infections from the disease. According to the city cleaners trade union, known as Sindlerb, 167 trash collectors who were part of high-risk groups have been fired since the beginning of the crisis, and that the government has not conducted any mass testing on workers.
Outro ponto que eu acho essencial.
They should make tests available for everyone exercising essential activities in order to try and control the spread of COVID-19. Recently, another 167 colleagues belonging to high-risk groups have been fired. To replace them, they have hired temps who are getting half of the amount previously given as food assistance, and healthcare plans for almost all workers have been cancelled. Furthermore, the sick bonuses and hazard pay have been cut in half. All the while, these workers are directly exposed to trash.
Beyond the aforementioned problems, the union is also denouncing the overworking of the sector due to these cutbacks, while highlighting how much these laborers are exposed to contagion by the novel coronavirus.
With these layoffs, we are having more things to do when in fact it should be the opposite. They should be hiring more workers so the less of us are exposed. These are essential activities. Another negative aspect is that the people who are cleaning the streets get to work on paid buses, where large gatherings in closed space are taking place.
In a press release, the Federal District's Public Maintenance Department affirmed that the 3 companies who provide cleaning services to local authorities were instructed to implement safety protocols to protect all workers.
In today's Culture Talk, you will meet Christian Wariu, a young indigenous man who started a YouTube channel to fight the prejudices that exist against native inhabitants. In the same way, other youth have found YouTube and move-making to be ways of furthering their cause and being politically active.
The most important thing to realize is that not all natives are the same. In fact, they can be quite different from one another.
A Chavanti tribesman of Guarani ancestry, Christian Wariu has moved to the country's capital where he is earning a degree in journalism at the University of Brasilia. He has never stopped going back to visit his village. He said he decided to start making the videos in order to combat the stereotypes and prejudices he heard on a daily basis against indigenous people.
When I get to a school, a course, or even at my neighbors, in other words, when I experience new societies, I realized that what I assumed to common knowledge about natives was not so common. For example, I noticed that a lot of people viewed indigenous populations from a colonialist viewpoint. Oh, natives have to walk around naked, or are there any cannibals among you? These are really old, outdated questions that I get asked to this day and age.
Christian isn't the only native on YouTube. There are channels led by indigenous writers, musicians, members of the LGBTQ community, among others, who mess around with the notion of stereotypes. For native languages expert Sueli Cabral, these young folk talking about and showcasing their culture is a very positive thing.
It's essential that people feel important as individuals, of being seen and recognized by others. However, I do believe their primary goal is political, since they are using YouTube not only to showcase their cultures, but also to fight for their rights.
Deixa o like aqui nesse vídeo aqui, ó, e vamos compartilhar ele pra ele estourar aí por aí.
And in today's Brazilianism, another recipe made from agroecological goods.
Olá, gente! Vim aqui dividir novamente mais uma receitinha com vocês.
Hello everybody! Today we are going to make mayonnaise, the authentic mayonnaise. I will use a blender, but if you like you can use your hands. We will use 2 whole eggs. I'll add a quarter of a lemon, a little bit of salt to your liking. Then I add the oil and a sliver of cilantro to give it some flavor. Let's blend the eggs at low speed. Now we add the oil very slowly. It will help us know when it's ready. You have to slowly add it as it is blending. Soon you will start seeing the consistency of mayonnaise. It's getting thicker. Add a little salt and cilantro. I'll show you the right thickness for the mayo. The flavor is identical to the ones you buy at stores. The difference is that we know what this one is made of, with organic eggs. You need to eat it the same day. You can't store it, because these are raw eggs. Industrialized ones have preservatives that allow you to store it, but not this one. I'm gonna add a little more lemon. I like mine a little sour, but you can put however much you like it. You can use this mayo by mixing it with vegetables. You can eat it with potatoes. It's delicious. That's it. I hope you enjoy it.
Liked our show? Hit the like button, share and subscribe to our channel. See you next week!